Good morning. My name is Douglas Hall, and I'm the Director of Economic and Fiscal Policy at the Economic Progress Institute. The Economic Progress Institute is a nonpartisan research and policy organization dedicated to improving the economic well-being of low and modest-income Rhode Islanders. Since the current overtime provisions were put in place, worker pay in New England and really throughout the United States has stagnated. Here in Rhode Island, workers at the 40th percentile made just 28 cents an hour more in 2017 than they made in 2004 in inflation-adjusted dollars. In Massachusetts, they're making about 98 cents more an hour, and in Connecticut, they're making 76 cents an hour less than they were making in 2004. This is due to many factors, but certainly one of them is the current antiquated overtime threshold. In fact, not only has the overtime threshold been stagnant since 2004, it's never been meaningfully inflation adjusted since it was set in 1975. Many of the speakers who have spoken in opposition to increasing the threshold today, I don't think were even born in 1975. Increasing the overtime threshold to the level in the 2016 EAP overtime rule would benefit nearly 40,000 Rhode Island workers, increasing their pay or reducing the amount of unpaid work they're required to do. In Massachusetts, it would benefit 281,000 workers. In Connecticut, about 109,000 workers. One of the key provisions of overtime protections is to prevent employees from being exploited by their employers. Under the status quo, too many workers are working long hours without being paid for many of those hours. In fact, the status quo is truly laughable. I mean, to say that someone who's earning $24,000 is a manager is like, you're a manager, and you're a manager, and you're a manager, and none of you are eligible for overtime protections. We've heard that we want our employees to be able to be flexible to work in a 24/7 environment. By my count, that's 68 hours a week. And we want to be able to pay those folks for just 40 of those hours. That's unconscionable. Workers working long hours face increased risk of injury or health problems. Workers working long hours have less time to spend with their families or in their communities. Workers working long hours without compensation are not able to supplement their incomes with other paid employment. Under the status quo, employees working full-time year-round earning less than $12 an hour, just a little bit more than the minimum wage currently, could be classed as exempt. Workers earning less than a poverty wage for a family of 4 should not be forced to work without pay. Here in Rhode Island, the 2016 Rhode Island Standard of Need shows that a 2-parent family of 4 needs about $58,000 a year, which is even more than we're proposing be pursued at this point. I think the bottom line here is that we are urging the U.S. Department of Labor to vigorously defend the 2016 provisions that would bounce it up to about $50,000 a year, inflation adjusted. We've heard folks say that moving from 24 to 50 is dramatic. There's no question it's dramatic. It's dramatic because it's been neglected for so long. Certainly requiring that it be inflation adjusted either at an annual interval or every 3 years is entirely reasonable. It provides both workers and their employers with a degree of certainty. We hear all the time that employers, what they like the least is uncertainty. But when the certainty is that they're going to have to continue to pay their employees fairly, for some reason that seems problematic for folks. We hear that increasing the overtime threshold would deprive hardworking employees of job advancement opportunities, discouraging them from demonstrating their commitment to the job by working unpaid overtime. In fact, a culture of unpaid work puts pressure on employees and in fact erodes their morale. Nothing's worse than being, working your 40-hour week and then working 20 hours more knowing that you're not getting paid for those last 20 hours. And at the same time knowing that you're not there for your kids' soccer games, you're not there to communicate in civic activities, etc. It's unfair to employees and it's not good for the economy. The Center for American Progress and the Economic Policy Institute estimate that each month since the abandonment of the 2016 EAP, Rhode Island workers have lost about $400,000 in wages. This is money that could be helping those families. They would be spending that money locally in their economy, helping the Rhode Island economy to thrive, and helping local businesses to actually prosper. Again, at the end of the day, what we urge you to do is to vigorously defend the 2016 EAP. Thank you.